But we can look ahead now to the games tomorrow night, if you like. We can speak to Dr. Octagon.
Dr. Octagon, Dr. Octagon, Dr. Octagon, he is here, he is here.
Good evening, Noel Gallagher.
Hi. Hello.
How are you, pal? You good?
Not bad.
Now, listen, we've got you on, of course, to preview City's game at the Etihad against Bayern Munich. So no real need to look back at the Premier League from the weekend just past, if that's okay.
I think the less said about that, the better, I think, isn't it?
You know, yeah, of course, Jason wants to say something on it.
I did
find it funny. I've not told Jay that when we went behind, you sent me a text saying, oops, and I just copy and pasted that right back at you about half an hour later. It wasn't a good weekend, was it, for both Manchester clubs?
Well, at least we're throwing our games away. You're getting hammered. Loads of getting beat, hands down, but wasn't the best, no.
Do you think that Pellegrini's concentrating primarily on tomorrow night more than the Premier League?
I don't know. When you see the scores come in, you're thinking, I don't know what's going on. But I was watching Gary Neville last night, the thing analysing it all, and he kind of made me feel a bit more confident about it. We are actually not playing bad, you know what I mean? It's just that they had 3 shots and they went in, do you know what I mean? But obviously it's a priority, But then saying that, we had pretty much a full strength team out against Villa. Yaya's played every game this season, so I don't know. I don't know.
It's a strange old season already, isn't it? We've only played 6 games, but when you look at how awesome City were against my side, just blew them off the park. And then you look at, 7 days later, give or take, and then that happens at Villa Park. It's just absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, I can't fathom. I was saying to you, I cannot fathom our team 6 days previous looks that good, and then the next weekend just looks so average. It's just unbelievable. But clearly, it's going to be one of those seasons where, Arsenal are top for crying out loud. It's mental.
I felt last season, the season before, Noel, in Europe, there was a naivety about the way that Manchester City played, in particular at home. There were some games where you should have gone on and won comfortably and didn't. How do you see Pellegrini changing the attitude towards Europe?
I think there's a bit more experience there with the lads that have come in. Fernandinho, I guess. I don't know. It seems to be all about Yaya this season. So, Fernandinho's allowing him to push forward a little bit, and we've got good options up front. But, I don't know. People go on about, the past 2 seasons in Europe, but let's not forget the first season we did get 10 points, and we were unlucky to go out. Last season we were in the toughest group with 2 semi-finalists and a beaten finalist, So. And we're still unbeaten at home in the Champions League, I believe, aren't we? I think. So it's not that crazily bad at the minute.
What's more important for you and for the majority of City fans, do you think? Is it
the league?
It's definitely winning the Premier over the Champions League.
Absolutely.
Why? Because you've won that recently. Isn't it better to be kings of Europe?
No, if you'd asked me now, would I take the league or the Champions League? I'll take the league every time because it means more. I think I'd rather have. If we ever get to win the league like 4 times, then maybe you could look a bit towards Europe a bit. But Europe's not that really important to City fans at the minute.
It's the ultimate test. The Premier League's the ultimate test. 38 games over 9 odd months. The Champions League, you could get a refereeing decision, a bit of luck, and in fact, most teams that win that competition have a bit of luck on the run at some stage.
Yeah, it is the toughest league in the world, and it's like with the way that the league is now, the top 6 are really good, so you've got to be on it for those 12 games anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I take that, but the Champions League would be just a bonus, wouldn't it? It's just a bonus.
The Champions League, just about. That's the T-shirt.
But it's different for United and Chelsea fans. They've won the league a lot, and the FA Cups and League Cups and all that. So you lot can can look to that and think, well, now is the real test. But for us, we're still starting off in that competition.
But I understand what you're saying, but you've already ticked that box of Premier League title. I mean, to say that in your lifetime Man City were champions of Europe, surely that's something you want to see, rather than in my lifetime City were champions of the Premier League twice.
I mean, either or really, but I'd rather the. You get to the final. It's a one. Say that you get to the final. It's a one-off game. You may not turn up. You may get hammered. You may lose on penalties. Do you know what I mean? And give me the league over 38 games. That's the test.
Let's talk about the game then tomorrow night. City at home to Birmingham. Of course, they won their first game away against Victoria Pleasant 3-0. Not really the biggest test for them. I suspect this one will be a much more difficult game to call.
Well, they're the champions. This is where you saying that. I was thinking before. Well, this is going to be where we test ourselves, but really it seems to be the little teams away from home is where we should be testing ourselves, because we're all right at home against the big clubs. So, but it'll be a great game. There's some great players, and it'll be a good atmosphere. And I'll be there. So
are you going? You are going to?
Yeah. I'm going to go up. Yeah. But yeah, well, let's see. Let's see.
I think it's one of those games that you go into it knowing how good Bayern are and the pedigree they've got in recent seasons, that it's a game that a point would not be a bad point.
Well, yeah, but I'm glad we're playing them at home now. I'm glad it's not away, because our away form is abysmal at the minute. So I'm glad we've got them at home. We seem to be, if the evidence suggests that we are great at home against the big teams, it doesn't get any bigger than this, so we should be all right, But I take a point now, of course, against the champions. Absolutely.
And how do you expect Pellegrini to set them up?
It's looking like Silva and Aguero are fit, and I expect him to go, all out. I don't think we'll be trying to nick it on the break, but it could suit us them coming on to us. I mean, Guardiola's team. I mean, it's going to be. This is it really.
Got to look out for those long balls from the goalkeeper.
Unbelievable, that, wasn't it? Unbelievable. I mean, those two in defence, against United looked imperious. But then we're only now realising how bad United actually are. So
it's way too early to say that, isn't it? After 6 games, how bad United are.
No, you know as well as I do. You're watching that game against West Brom. United have not played well since the first game of the season. So I mean, even the most biased of United fans, and I've got quite a few of them, are noticeably very quiet this season already.
So why aren't they playing well, Noel? Is it the players? I mean, I don't know how that team or that squad won by 11 points. Obviously, Sir Alex was there and they had Van Persie, but is it a combination of the squad not being as good as it could be and the manager?
No, I think I think we're only starting to realise what a great manager Ferguson was, because he got more than enough out of that team last season. I mean, last season City weren't great, Chelsea weren't great, but it's now looking like Ferguson was better than we thought he was.
See, I think a big problem that David Moyes has got is that he got rid of all Fergie's backroom staff and brought, all his new guys in, and no one really knows what the players can do or can't do. And the fact, I think that was underlined massively at the weekend when he picked Butner over Evra just because Butner played well against Liverpool in the League Cup. He put Anderson in the middle of the park, and I'm just astonished that he even gets onto subspace, let alone starts the game.
I can't believe he's still playing football. He's abysmal. I mean, I love him because he is abysmal, but
they're the mistakes, I think, that if he was surrounded by people that had been at the club for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, he's less likely to make those mistakes, because at the moment, obviously, he's got to find out who can do and who can't do what he wants them to.
Yeah, but he's by all accounts very hands-on in the training, and kind of Ferguson wasn't. He kind of delegated the work, so he can't be on the training pitch and the Dutch fella and all the other coaches as well. So I don't know. He's kind of got he's swimming in a whirlpool at the minute, and he needs to. I mean, obviously, I hope he stays and doesn't sort it out. But he's got to sort it out quick, hasn't he?
I mean, I know it's only 6 games, but people are talking about Man United missing out on the top 4. If you look at the league table, it's so tight even at this stage. But another couple of defeats where, and you know what the pressure's like in this English media. Do you think there is a chance that they could miss out top 4?
No, because say if they get to the January window and they're 6th or even just scraping into 4th, you would have thought they'd throw 50, 60 million at it. You would have thought. And I just can't, for the life of me, you can't see Everton, Tottenham and Liverpool sustaining it over 28 games, never mind 38 games. You just can't see it, you know.
Well, I hope Liverpool don't, because obviously myself and Jay look like 2 boiled eggs at the end of the season.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, everybody apart from the big 3, City, United and Chelsea, are all playing above themselves at the minute. So when it levels out, it should get very, very interesting. But my money is still on Chelsea, because the way Mourinho changed that game on Saturday morning is just a little indicator of the influence that he can have. And I think, unless, saying that, any team now that can put 8 wins in a row together probably end up being champions from now, do you know what I mean? Because everybody's still kind of finding their way into it. But if you're asking me, would I put money on it? I'd say I'd put money, not so much on Chelsea, I'd put money on Mourinho pulling it off.
Some of the Gallagher money going on that. Listen, before we let you go, has it been a good week for hair or jeans?
Get my haircut tomorrow.
Okay, all right. And
no jeans.
Why not?
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to go buy something off the internet. I'm going to go buy I'm going to go buy a lady's pair of jeans just to see what it's like.
Yeah, like you don't already know.
Just to see what it's like. Hang on a minute. That if you're talking about the picture that's on the internet, that's clearly been photoshopped.
Go on then, give us a quick prediction then. City home to Bayern Munich. What's going to
happen? I'm going to say my head says a draw, but I'm going to go City to win it 2-1.
City to win it 2-1. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if Bayern Munich win it, myself and Jay will go halves. We'll buy you the ladies. Well, we'll get ladies' underwear and jeans for you. You're going to have the whole outfit.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
You're a star, Noel. Thanks as always. We'll speak to you soon.
See you later. Bye.
Cheers, pal.